Are you guys a couple?
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life.
From secret weddings to sudden splits, shady social media moves, and even some suspicious missing bling, Toni Braxton and Birdman's saga is messier than a fast food bag in the backseat of a rapper's Lambo. Let's get into this wild ride. Back in 2001, Toni tied the knot with Carrie Lewis from Mint Condition. Fast forward to 2002, and boom, she was suddenly linked to Brian Christopher Williams.
Wait, Brian who? That's Birdman, the co-founder of Cash Money Records. Yep, the same guy behind that iconic Baby You Can Do It track. In the music video, their chemistry was straight up electric. But despite the sparks, things supposedly stayed friendly. I mean, she was still married. Meanwhile, Birdman, he was out there in the streets living his best wild life, including that moment everyone remembers, kissing Lil Wayne right on the mouth.
Talk about giving Damon and Marlon Wayans vibes.
After Toni and Carrie had their 2 boys, their relationship hit the brakes. Even though the marriage ended, Toni kept things cool for the sake of the kids. At least that's what she wrote in her memoir. We linked it below for you to peep. They even stayed living under the same Atlanta roof and agreed to take one family vacation together every year. A whole vacation? Together? Nah, that's next level.
Toni told Access Online that her mom kept nudging her to explore new dating options and start playing in the snow. But Toni wasn't rushing into anything. Maybe the reason she wasn't ready was because she and Carrie had started hooking up again. Yep, looks like the fire wasn't completely out. But that second chance at love? It barely made it past a year and a half before it crashed and burned, for good this time. When the divorce papers were finally signed, Toni had to cough up alimony, and Carrie got slapped with a $2,000 a month child support and alimony bill. Like, seriously? A grown man collecting checks from his ex-wife? Wild. This is exactly why people say, make sure he's got more money than you, sis.
After that mess, Toni took her mom's advice and tried something different. She dated a white dude. In February 2012, she was linked to none other than Eddie Murphy. Yes, that Eddie. But that fizzled out quick, just like a flat soda.
While fans were out here begging her to give her longtime collaborator Babyface a chance, Toni shut all that down on The Breakfast Club. She made it clear, he's like family, and she said he'd never see her in that way. Then came the real curveball. Toni popped out with Birdman, of all people. They hit their first red carpet together in 2016, and not long after making things official, Birdman went full-blown flashy and surprised her with a Bentley SUV.
In January 2018, they dropped Hardaway together, and the next month, he got down on one knee. Yes, he proposed, and she said yes.
Meanwhile, what about Carrie? Was he sitting at home lighting a candle, waiting for Toni to come celebrate with him too? Doubt it.
Toni told E's Daily Pop that Birdman was pressuring her to lock in a wedding date. He wanted that ring on her finger before the year was up. But guess what? The wedding never happened. Year after year, Toni kept stalling, blaming her busy work schedule. But come on, sounds like excuses.
Word on the street? She wasn't dragging her feet because of work. She just wasn't trying to wake up next to a dude who looked like a bird mixed with a pit bull every morning. Can you blame her? Then it gets even wilder. While flying Delta from New York to LA, Toni straight up left her Louis Vuitton train case on the plane. And inside, her yellow diamond engagement ring worth a jaw-dropping $5 million. $5 million. How do you lose something like that? That's not just a ring. That's a whole down payment on an island. Toni was out here moving goofy, no doubt. The case was found the next day, but the jewelry? Gone. Just vanished. Birdman later told Wendy Williams he wasn't even stressing about it. He said he'd just buy her another one if he had to. Oh, really? With whose money, sir? Lil Wayne's still waiting on that check you owe him.
And then came the social media chaos. In January 2019, they unfollowed each other and Birdman posted, "It's over" on his Instagram story like a dramatic high school breakup. Real emotional vibes.
But then, surprise. Months later, he told Wendy Williams it was all just a publicity stunt. A stunt? Meanwhile, a source told Hollywood Life their relationship was still going strong and they didn't care about the chaos. It actually helped bring more heat to Toni's reality show, Braxton Family Values.
By April 2020, right in the middle of that pandemic lockdown, there was still no wedding in sight. Toni told the Rick and Sasha show that she and Birdman kept going back and forth on picking a date. Every time they picked one, it got too complicated. Too many people, too much drama. They didn't want a massive production. Then Birdman came up with the most random idea ever. A drive-through wedding. Like, pull up, say "I do," and keep it pushing. Toni shut that down real quick. She was not about to get married next to a car window like she's ordering fries.
More years flew by. Still no rings, no vows, nothing. Then in December 2023, the internet started buzzing. Some messy blog claimed that Toni and Birdman finally tied the knot. But just as people started believing it, Toni jumped in and shut it all the way down. She reposted the story and clapped back in the caption, "My dear friend, Birdman and I are not married, never been married. We are both single now."
Oof. She hit him with the friend zone so hard it echoed. By April 2024, she made it crystal clear. It was over. In an interview with People magazine, Toni said she was enjoying being single and looking forward to dating again. She admitted dating could be a little scary, but she wanted a sweet guy. Someone who'd chill with her and watch Lifetime all day, at least once a week. Girl, for that, just call up your sisters.
Half her fans were cheering, finally free from the Birdman saga. But the other half, they weren't buying it. And sure enough, boom. In April 2025, TMZ dropped the bomb. 4 months after that whole single and ready to mingle speech, Toni and Birdman had secretly gotten married. What? This love story just keeps twisting.
Oh no! I know somebody is lying. Either Toni's lying or somebody's playing games because this whole situation just flipped again.
Turns out, the happily ever after lasted less time than a TikTok trend. According to legal docs snatched up by TMZ, Toni filed for divorce just 2 weeks after the secret wedding. She listed their official separation date as August 10th, 2024. 2 weeks. That's shorter than most situationships. Her lawyer didn't hold back, called the marriage irretrievably broken. Whew, but hold up, it ain't over yet. Grab me a margarita and toss in some peach rings, cause we about to get real messy.
In a plot twist no one saw coming, Toni dismissed the divorce petition in January 2025, and Birdman signed off on it. Say what? Now the two are still legally married, but their actual relationship status? A total mystery. They've both been radio silent, not a single public word since.
Considering how this roller coaster started, from flirty collabs to public drama, vanishing rings, social media chaos, and back and forth wedding talk, this is looking like a whole soap opera instead of a love story.
So what's really going on here? Are we spotting legit red flags? Or are we just pressed because we ain't the ones waking up next to Birdman while he's over there breathing all heavy and hunching? Be real, bestie, you messy for that one. Tell us what you think down in the comments. And wait, hold up. Ain't nobody even asked me what I thought. Not y'all running off without checking in first? Let me break something down real quick. I love the Braxtons. Watched every single show, every reality episode, all of it. And listen, this is just my take, but hear me out. Y'all ever wonder why Toni might really be going through all this back and forth? I think it has a lot to do with her health. Toni's been dealing with lupus, and that stuff takes a toll on the body. On top of that, she's had serious heart issues. It's been rough for real.
So here's what I'm thinking. Toni marrying Birdman might not be about love in the traditional sense. It could be about having someone she trusts legally in place to handle her estate if things take a turn. Not just her estate, but looking out for her kids, her sisters,
And her mama, too. Yeah, her family got money, but not Birdman level money. That man's bag is different.
Now let's talk about Birdman. Folks been whispering for years that he might be on the DL. And honestly, this whole situation is giving lavender marriage vibes. It looks like more of a business arrangement than a fairy tale romance.
They've been tight for a long time. Real solid friends. That's probably why they kept the whole wedding thing so low-key, like they didn't want all the cameras and headlines on them. And let's be real, Toni might still be holding out hope that one day a real king or a fine prince comes along that actually makes her heart skip for the right reasons.
So yeah, this might just be her playing chess, not checkers. But maybe Toni's thinking, time ain't exactly on her side. So she's like, let me lock this down the smart way. Not civil, like polite, but civil, like legal. Make it official, so her kids, her estate, and everything she's worked for are protected the right way.
Now, some of y'all probably thinking, why not just set up a trust? Make Birdman the trustee and keep it pushing. And yeah, that's an option. But who really knows what's going on behind those closed mansion doors? I mean, I ain't no lawyer, and I definitely ain't out here doing estate planning. I'm just putting the pieces together, besties. These are just my theories, my hypotheses, if you will. So what do you think is really going on with Toni and Birdman? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't be shy. And while you're at it, like, share, and subscribe for more of this real talk. We've got plenty more mess to unpack, and you already know it's gonna be juicy. See you on the next one.